Since leaving the winter meetings empty-handed, the Blue Jays have been making some moves. Hey, everyone. Welcome into another edition of Long Ball. Rob Wong joined alongside by Toronto Sun Blue Jays writer Rob Longley. And, Rob, let's start with the first big signing of the offseason for the Blue Jays. They get free agent pitcher Chris Bassitt on a reported 3-year deal worth $63 million. What are the Blue Jays getting from the veteran right-hander?
Yeah, they're getting a huge addition to their rotation, Robin. You know, we talked about it. A lot of fans were disappointed when the Blue Jays left San Diego at the winter meetings empty-handed. But it's clear that they had done a lot of the research and laid a lot of the groundwork for this type of move. And as often is the case with General Manager Ross Atkins, he doesn't wait long after the winter meetings to make a signing. And in Chris Bassitt, it's a key one. It's you know, they went into the offseason, the Blue Jays did. With starting pitching upgrades as a top priority. And here they've got arguably the third best free agent that was on the market this year to add to a rotation that suddenly now is among the elite in the American League. Bassitt will easily slot into the third or fourth spot, depending on how they want to do it, and depending on how much Jose Barrios is able to bounce back from his subpar 2022 season. But in Bassitt, they get a guy who's proven to be a durable starter. He pitched over 181 innings for the Mets last season. He's a guy who routinely goes 6 and 7 innings deep in a ball game, has a great pitch mix. His sinker is elite, among the best in the American League. It will be amongst the best in the American League. And, you know, he can shift from that pitch to 4 or 5 other ones. And just a durable guy, a versatile guy who's a perfect fit on any rotation. And for some teams would be a number 2 or number 3 guy. And he doesn't have to be that in Toronto with Kevin Gausman and Alek Manoah ahead of him.
Now, run prevention is something Ross Atkins has spoken quite a lot about. The Blue Jays also agreeing to terms with longtime Tampa Bay Rays center fielder Kevin Kiermaier. He's getting up there in age, Rob, and is coming off surgery for a hip injury last year. But when he's healthy, he's clearly one of the best defensive players in all of baseball.
Yeah, Rob, there wasn't a day that went by at the winter meetings when Ross Atkins didn't talk about run prevention. And it's clear that he wasn't just talking about starting pitching in the bullpen. He was talking about what they can do on the field. And I think that's part of the reason that they moved Teoscar Hernandez in the trade. They certainly weren't pleased with his consistency out in right field. But bringing in Kiermaier, you've got a superior guy. I mean, here's a guy whose range is incredible. He's athletic. He's fast. He's got a great arm. He's coming off a surgery, so that's a mild concern. But you know, all signs point to him being healthy and ready to resume his career. Likely to be a 1-year deal. We don't know the terms yet, which takes the risk out of the equation. But it certainly adds to the defensive prowess of that Toronto outfield, whether he ends up being a third outfielder or a fourth outfielder. And it also gives them the possibility of shifting George Springer over to right field and have Kiermaier play center when he's in the ball game. So, yeah, the team definitely got better defensively with the Kiermaier agreement. I think they still need to replace Teoscar Hernandez's ability at the plate, his production, and I think that remains a priority this offseason. They'll probably try to do it via another outfielder, but getting Kiermaier in there is a great defensive guy, whether he's your sort of quasi everyday starter or whether he's a bench guy. You can use him in a lot of different situations.
So with these two free agent signings, the Blue Jays obviously adding quite a bit of payroll this offseason with the remaining moves that they may or may not do the rest of the way here, Rob. Are we thinking more free agent signings with more money being added, or do you think they decide to go down the trade route?
It'll be interesting to see what they opt to do, Rob. I think both possibilities are on the table. You know, we talk about this, the way this front office is spending now. They're really behaving a lot like a big market team, right? This is the fourth consecutive off season where they've signed free agents to multi-year contracts at more than $20 million a season, which is just mind-boggling when you think of it. But it also speaks to the financial flexibility and clearance that they have from owners, Rogers Communications, to continue to spend. Now, it depends what they're after. If they're going to try to get a fifth starter, I would think that maybe they would go the free agent route. But if they're looking for a bat and if they're looking for another outfielder, then now maybe the idea of trading one of their three catchers on the roster comes more into play. I don't think that the Jays see it as a necessity to trade one of these guys. They're quite content to go into 2023 with three of them. But right now it serves as currency, and if they want to continue to upgrade their roster, they've got the option to try to trade one of these guys for a left-handed bat outfielder that would just further add to the depth and also the potential explosiveness of the lineup.
Well, the Blue Jays finally dipping their toe into the free agent waters. We'll see what they have in store the rest of the way. For all of Rob's Blue Jays coverage, head over to the Toronto Sun, and you can get him on Twitter at Longley Sun Sport.